Good morning and welcome. This is Hero Wars How-To. Free to play, player versus enemy. And I'd like to take just a minute to explain that to those that may not understand. When I first started playing the game, I just hobbled along like anybody else, I suppose. And then I started paying attention and learning some stuff, mostly from making mistakes. Now, there are two types of players initially. And what I mean by that is, that's better. Player versus enemy is a person who is predominantly attempting to beat the game. And that basically means solve the puzzle that the developers and creators of the game have designed. And that puzzle, if we can take a look at that. Oh, nice. How do we got a whole... Oh, let's get that out of there. And let's do that so it looks nice. Sweet. So here you can see level 65. And you might ask yourself, what did it take to get there? Because in reality, this team is only halfway to max. I began this team March 20th, it looks like, of this year. April, May, June, July. That's 9 months. So 40 in a month, 50 in a month, 60 in a month. And by a month, I guess I mean 3, right? I'm not that great at the math early in the morning. Now, special events, I mentioned it before. I'm just going to do a quick synapse of this. Elemental Synergy is an event, not a bad event, but it's predominantly for player versus player. Why I say that is this. There are a number of areas available to you in the campaign. And for free-to-play players, I'm a free-to-play player. I earn my advancements through experience points, not through money investment. I do not spend real-world money on a video game to hang out and be quarantined in. And the basis of my game is knowledge that it's designed to keep players involved for a very long time. Which what that means is it's slow. It's not real fast. It takes a long time. It's a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. It takes months or even years to develop a hero to be reasonably of power. Now, something I came up with this morning that I thought was really interesting. Here we notice we're at level 65. Galahad is +2. Now, at +2, that matters because your glyphs get unlocked per each level as you go along. Now, here you can see Ingrid or Astrid and Lucas +1, 65, because her final advancement to Violet +2, in which her final glyph is unlocked, is not until level 68. So, that being said, a lot of other heroes are similar, and I've not done the research. I'm curious, someone that probably knows more than me. Martha, you can see 65 +2. King Mao, 65 +1, the same. And it's interesting, I'm not sure what it is, but these different items seem to repeat themselves. And if there ever was a good advice that newest beginning players should be aware of, is just that. For example, if I pick a team just because of looks, and I want this player, that hero, etc. Let's say everyone likes Astaroth, so I pick Astaroth because that's what everybody else does. What do I know? Well, I know a thing or two. When I spend a few, weeks or months in a Silver League guild, wouldn't say it was a mistake, but I ain't doing that again. I prefer the game when it doesn't involve other people. I don't come here to socialize. I come here to escape, to play a game, and most importantly, utilize my brain functions at its, well, not its maximum, but at least give it kind of a workout. And you may think, well, how does this silly video game supposed to do that? Well, on a daily basis, my brain is going through a number of different concepts, thoughts, awarenesses, ideas. The first thing I think about is, well, I got all this stuff I got to do. Now, earlier this morning, I'm not sure if I posted it yet, but I did a video basically to defeat the person that says the tower takes too long. I hate the tower. First off, that's probably a player versus player. They don't have patience. They want immediate gratification and or a collective of people around them to co-sign their BS. So do with that as you may. But I went through the tower in this video, not even thinking, didn't pay the 130 emeralds to go to level 26 because I've learned better. I go through it, I finish it, I start looking to see what heroes I can up. I'd buy some merchanty stuff, and honestly, I didn't inventory the recording or the video. I just did my thing, and then all of a sudden I looked down and realized that's 30 minutes. That's not a bad amount of time, and I'm pretty sure in that same situation I might, no, that was my other team. I was just going to say, with the oracle cards, today's astral deal is using these oracle cards, and here you can see I've already used mine. So that means this guy did, looks like half a lap. I'll let him do another. A little side note, comment about the dungeon. Lots of people, and I'll probably have to redo all of this, but real quickly, if you're player versus player, meaning you play Hero Wars with the sole purpose of getting involved in the guild, getting to a gold level, gold guild, whatever bracket, number one, you're never going to get there if you're not paying the money. It just seems pretty obvious, unless you've been playing for 2-3 years. Now, I'm still waiting to see, and possibly through this centralized free-to-play headquarters, as we're calling it, what I'd really like to see is free-to-play players who have been playing this game for years, that are sick and tired of this or that, or maybe you've not been playing for a long time and you're just kind of checking new stuff out to see what's new in the game. Well, I challenge you to come back, create a free-to-play guild on every single server. If you create a free-to-play guild, I guarantee you it'll be full like that. It'll be full. And then you have to do another, then you have to do another. And what's the big deal? Well, it's not to put down Nexters by any means. They made a great game. I can play it all I want. And it's free. That's important. But when new players decide they want to play this game, they will know before they start, probably, whether or not they have money to spend, waste, whatever. Now, me personally, so many things in life are more important than my entertainment by a bunch of blips on a screen. Let's face it. We're dealing with zeros and ones, and our brain's interaction with a code designed to give us a visual representation for that mathematical problem. Okay? We don't know the math behind the visuals, but we know the visuals. The visuals are, takes 5 heroes, probably a pet, unless you're silly and not thinking and you play mobile. Anybody that plays mobile should really have their brain checked. If you aren't aware of this, you can play Facebook and web versions on a phone, but you have to play through your web browser. Big deal. The whole point of that is Facebook doesn't like it because they're not your sole provider of entertainment. Few people are conscious of the real reality of advertising these days. Advertising these days is predominantly designed not to sell you something. Advertising today is meant to keep your attention for as long as possible, and they add that up by the second. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. You may not think about it much, but that's why we're here. We're here to bring your brain up to speed with some of these concepts that other people aren't even looking at. And I asked myself for weeks, why is this super popular quote unquote guy never able to give me information that's useful? I mean, it's cute. It's, oh, isn't that funny? Blah, 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 whatever. Learn to take your dog out before you do a podcast, because that tells us what's most important to you. Granted, we also know that if you didn't do this, your girlfriend and her family would more likely make you get some kind of crap-ass job at a quickie trip down the street on Highway 94. So, good luck with that. Keep up the great work. Someone once asked Henry Rollins, do you get bummed out about people like, what's his name, Bruce Springsteen? He's got hundreds and thousands of people every show. And Henry's like, I would way rather play for 500 Black Flag friends than a million. And he probably even said a handful of those other ones because Henry's smart like that. Still, why would I want to join their group? I didn't come here to pay Nexter's money to babysit me. I came here to kick ass and take names. Just kidding. But yeah, I'll take some names. I'll take Astrid and Lucas. I'll take Galahad. I'll take Orion and Nebula. And of course, the old bag Martha. I have to admit, one of the biggest mistakes I made was being visually attached to the heroes. Because I'm not kidding you, man, for months, I refused. Martha, no, her and Thea are the same. Well, in reality, Martha's like 3 Theas, at least in age, I bet. And I'm still trying to figure out what's her dang name of the turtle. I'm not sure why I care, but other people seem to care in that, well, maybe they don't. Maybe I'm the only one that cares. But I want to know what Dorian's bat's name is. He's got a bat, and then he's got a bunch of bats. But, you know what I'm saying? Astrid has Lucas. Granted, the video game, let's face it, folks, it's about Astrid and Lucas. This entire game. The point is, it's like Adventures of Link. It's no different than Zelda, kinda, with the exception of in Zelda, you save the princess and you're done. Now, the cool thing about this story is that saving the princess is 8/10, 7/10, 2/3 of the way done, because then you and the princess and all your friends have to escape. That's kind of smart. That makes sense. I love that story. At some point, I think it would be really cool. It's coming off the top of my head right now. I think it'd be really cool if somebody was able to, and I don't even know how long it would take or if it would be possible. You'd probably have to collect it in sped up video parts so others can make the adjustment and watch at the speed that they want. But still, to be able to see one player play the game straight through all the way to the end, and just out of, I'm sure there's some geeks out there that work on the code that are like, why is he talking about stuff like this? People like don't normally talk about stuff like this. I'm like, well, because you have a mathematical map that tells you that that the puzzle or the problem has the solution. Otherwise, everybody would be wasting their time, energy, and money, which that's fine. I won't disagree that I do this to waste time. But in wasting the time, it puts my brain to work more so than shoot 'em up games, or what are those things called when they, like Doom, and that shows you how old I am, right? Is Diablo a thing anymore? I wonder. I used to play that back in the day. And I don't even know what the new ones are. It's just society trying to get a bunch of young kids thinking about violence and training them mentally to run around and shoot stuff. Now, the second half of them got an actual firearm in their hand and emitted a projectile. Their attitude is going to change rapidly. People watch movies, and they think, oh, yeah, isn't that, ooh, I'll just shoot them in the house. Dude, that's, if you've never heard a firearm being discharged inside of a 20 by 20 or smaller enclosed space, like a room or an apartment or a house or a basement, trust me, you'll wish you had had earplugs. It's fucking loud. Excuse my language. What was I doing here besides getting distracted on the silliness of firearms? For those of you aren't of the triple-digit IQ, guns don't kill people. They sell bullets. Everybody that has one's got to go practice. And as far as math, I lived in Durango for a while, and, I lived in the parking lot of a Walmart in Durango for a while. Most appropriate way to say it. Just over the hill. And there was this trail I'd walk my dog or ride the bike with him on this trail. And it was cool. It would snow and the streets would be covered. They were so into the alternative transportation. The paths are plowed before the streets are plowed. That was cool. But anyway, there's a fire range there. And I went into Walmart, checked out ammunition prices for this, that, and the other. And 50 cents to a buck a round isn't seemingly out of the realm, which means when I would hear these people at this firing range, they're blowing off 10, 20 bucks in a hand clip, in a clip. Pop, 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 pop. Now, bigger guns, little guns, whatever. You're just spending money to pretend you're Rambo. Trust me, nobody wants that. The movies don't want us to think it. They want us to be desensitized to it. When I play Hero Wars, I'll be straight up and honest. I feel more interested in the game if I think of it like outer space. Most all of the heroes could be interstellar. You know what I'm saying? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, if that were the case. You know what I'm saying? In that case, Astrid would be like Rocket, and Lucas would be Groot. Of course, Nebula is Nebula. That's her sister. King Mao would be her Nebula's sister. I can't remember what her name is. But you get the point. My creativity runs with it, and I don't have to be stuck in just this old world dominion mentality. It could be a planet dominion. You know what I mean? Because all this stuff is very. This looks out unworldly. This is. If there ever was a Stargate, the campaign entrance is a Stargate. It's not like any of these concepts are original or unique. Where are we at? 21 minutes, and I have no idea what I've talked about. But I'm going to throw it up there anyway and let y'all get a little inside piece of the Hero Wars how-to mentality. And our mentality, free-to-play, player versus enemy. And I guess that's what I was talking about initially. Of all the mistakes you can make when you begin this game is joining a guild. It's dumb. And I'm hoping to help more people comprehend the idea that if you make your guild, let me look at this. This is my own personal guild. Every one of these teams is me. I have 19 members out of 30, which is 4 more than I need. You need 15 because only 15 are active. The other 15, they're the crumb grabblers. Those are the people that are hanging out, collecting all of the work on or efforts by others. And then, of course, and I'm not sure, I can't really get involved with this because I'm my own guild. But it's the weekend. There is no guild war. But if we look at the basics of it, here you can see my defense map. I'm not sure how, but oh yeah, because it's the end of the game. Every position filled. Top 3 positions in the bridge. Those should be the strongest. We allocate signets. Come down here, we see they're not in. If there's not a check, they're not considered a champion of the guild. But these are all these practice teams that I created with the intention of giving them away. A lot of other, what would you call it, streamers, commentators, Hero Wars, YouTubers, I don't know what you call them. Once they get popular, the company gives them stuff to give away to attract people. I figured, well, I don't have a company. A lot of things got in the way, and I'm probably still uninclined to figure out how to get the frame. Maybe I'll just look here. The frame. There's a YouTube frame for, is it the boxy? I think it's the boxy frame. Yeah, 50,000 views to get the boxy frame. And then there's Legends frame for 1 million views. So they're having high expectations. And maybe it's just something that can be built up, but like over time. Oh, I've already got that because I won the victory cake deal. Oh yeah, I did want to do that, didn't I? Let's do her. In keeping, another little tip for solo guild masters, I found it's a lot easier to give the hero team a name, helps me recognize it. For example, OG1 CHC -Facebook. That's my original Facebook login from my original team on Facebook. OG2 JHCFB, that's my dad. OG3, that's my DJ, that's one of me. Well, all of them are me, but those were my first 3 main Facebook pages. And then DSP, Chief Tacomasac, and SS13, those are web logins. Now, the way I keep track of that, and I think it's intended by the designers, but here you can see on the web version, gosh, I love it so much better than the Facebook version. Thank you, Nexters, for not selling everything to Facebook. But you can change the backgrounds here, and I use that. If it's a blue background, it means it's a login with Facebook, because by default, Facebook's a blue environment. That's deeper than I thought, but it's true. Thinking I missed. Nope, I already got that. Still not going to grab those because, you know what, screw those things. I think this is the cornerstone of the problems of the game. If you think you have to do this just to get that 50 soul stones, it's a great thing, and I've done it for months, but I'm done with it. It's not worth it. I don't need the stress on my day to go, oh, did I log in to all 30 accounts? Did I do my 10-minute daily duties? Now, as I mentioned, it took me 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes this morning, to go through the tower to the top, come back and get distracted and working to upgrade heroes. In the final philosophy I'm going to put out there, and I think this should go across the board to either type of player. Now, I mentioned before, you got player versus player mentality and player versus enemy mentality. Now, PvE, our main focus is to beat the game. The beating of the game at least begins with beating the campaign. It's possible you have to beat the tower before you can beat the campaign, because I think that happens at level 100 or something. But my point being is that the developers made this game with all these different areas. They anticipate and design in the game that it is required to go to these different areas. For example, if you go to the merchant, you can see a merchant for every different location, except for a few. You can't see the guild artifact or the Titan artifact merchant, which, by the way, those count on those solar emerald scams. They say buy 50 things in a shop. So when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I know what that means. Click, 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 click. Because it used to be I'd just buy these just to get the bonuses for the soul stones, and then I'd resell them when I was broke, and wasn't any real big skin off my teeth. It would be nice if I was accessible to developers. Thought I'd like these to show me that, like, for example, if I go here to heroes and see all the green plus signs, that means I can create or employ, equip, or purchase often. Some of them you'll see, it'll just say, I think it says get now. And that's the location. If it's available in the market, merchant, it'll also say go to the merchant. I like that aspect, but it'd be nice if when I was in the merchant, if it showed me, hey, like here you can see this shows all the heroes that need it, but it's truly incomplete, because what they do is when your top 5 are maxed, they don't show you the stuff they need for their next level. That's what I'm talking about. But part of keeping in the game, keeping your brain going. My point being is that all of these things, you can buy them and try to collect up. But if you're level 6, is it 65? No, 60? 50. When's Titan Valley open? I don't remember when Titan Valley opens, but this Altar of the Elements, this is where you get stuff. This Titan of Artifacts, this shows you what artifacts your Titans need. These aren't anywhere close to 3 stars. The merchant is where you buy those things. Honest to goodness, with what, 5 times through 15 or more different ones, I find it's easier. I go here because he's my top damage dealer. I go here, see 333. Now you can click through. That's a lot closer, right? So let's click on that. Click on merchant. Click on this. This is something I think is new last couple months. Next Star and 198. Tells you right how many you need. And if I purchase those, that counts as 199 purchases in the shop. Therefore, whenever you see those get 50 things in a shop in 3 days or get 100 stuffs from the shop in a week, go here. In that minimum time, you're done. Part of the beauty of being free to play is giving away hints, help, suggestions, and oops, that looks ugly. Sorry about that. But being able to help people in that nature with, I'm just going to say it, my first month of videos, a few people that knew what they were talking about, and I don't say that because they complimented me, say that because the way they complimented me showed an awareness that was different than your average viewer. And that could be an assumption. They could have just posted or commented the right thing. But to like numerous videos and always comment great content, excellent information, I wish I knew this before, etc. Those are the kind of comments, and that makes me feel good. I've contributed to my community because when I started this game, there wasn't much of a helpful community. 2 or 3 maybe basic people that were or had been a year or 3 ago putting up videos, probably before they even had frames. I'm not sure. Charlie might have been the one that started that. And he's super popular, I guess. He touts himself as very popular. Granted, he's popular with player versus player. He, nor most of his fans have even beat the campaign. How do you know? He never talks about it. When you bring it up, he gets mad at you. Then he insults you. And then you tell him, you know what, Mr. Chicken of the Sea? Sorry you feel that way. Good luck to you. But in the meantime, outside of the nonsensical drama, keeping the game focused on the solution. Now, as I've mentioned before in other videos, the Kraken's Cave was the first, I don't know, it was my wake-up call, predominantly because I didn't have Martha, I think. I might have been at level 75, 80 with Thea Gale. I had Astrid and Lucas, Orion, and who knows, sometimes Maya, sometimes King Mao, sometimes Kira. But it was the first time I had to, it was the first time I had to go to YouTube and go, how do I beat this thing? Where's the videos that show me how to beat this? Back in the beginning, I started the game just like everybody else. The first section here to Ginger pretty much is a walkthrough tutorial where they're teaching you how the interface works through forcing you along in the tutorial. Then you get through here, you finish this, you get the chance to get Arachne. You need Arachne when it first starts out, because otherwise you're not going to beat whoever, this guy. What's his name? Brog the Conqueror. But once you beat him, every day you get your Outland coins, you get your whatevers, and then I don't level her up. Let's see where she's at. Throughout the game, of course, now here, gosh, she's way low. I need to work on her. I pride myself on having all of the popular player versus enemy heroes at level 1. And I also, I oftentimes will change these. I don't care about the ranking really, just want the coins. And every day, I don't look to see how many I get. I just get some. I do my thing, and that's my wake-up call. You know what I mean? Here, let's attack this guy. Let's do something fun. I'm going to show you something. Here you see defenders, but I can go and attack here, and I can change my attackers. He's got Galahad. I got Galahad. He's got the at level 30. And the reason I'm doing this is to... I'll use my... she does damage. I don't want her. Basically, I'm trying to figure... Oh, maybe she doesn't. She does. I don't want damage. Maybe I should do that. My point is I'm trying to make the battle extended as long as possible with doing as little damage as possible, but encouraging the others to use their main attacks. The biggest problem is if I put anybody of caliber in there, I'm gonna lose. And by that I mean win. Now they have, I don't know if I think you have to have green to. Do you have to be green to have a first skill? Probably not. So let's put all gray dudes in there with Dorian. We don't want him to die too quick. Who's the other? Oh, him. The other undead. Let's see how that works, just cause. I could have maybe taken Oliver out of there, but... The idea I'm working on is you need to heal your guys a lot and not give a lot of damage, but take it. I can't remember what the task was. I think it was it do damage or was it take damage? No, it was first skill. So if they don't die and they keep battling a really hard opponent, they're more likely to use their first skill. But if they die too fast, like this one, they won't get to use that skill. I hardly ever play those heroes, so it's kind of fun to watch them. It's different, it's new. That's my, what would it be, Addams Family, maybe? Oh, man. Dang it, I won. I didn't want to win. What was that thing again? 12, 30. It's 3 days. I think what they're trying to do, because understand this, I'm going to close out with this because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think what they're trying to do is hide the fact that they're trying to steal new players' emeralds, so they're inclined to pay money to speed up their game to keep up with everybody else in their guild that's spending money on the game. It's total monkey see, monkey do. And if you're that mentality, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I can do some adventures. 5 buffs and adventures, though. As far as I could tell, let me see which ones. I don't know if they mean the dailies, because these are buffs. But I think they mean those little buff doohickeys. And you have to be, what? The 4th or 5th before there's... Let's see. Let's go through this. Buffs. There's 1 and 1. Right? There's 1 and 2. There's 1 and 3. Are there 2 and 4? There might be 2 and 4, but I don't think you can both get to them. There's probably 2 and 5, but again, you have to split your team up. Only one's going to get 2 or 3. It's like that tower challenge they had a couple of days ago. One player can go through this one, seize your stronghold 5. Let's just do it so we can see. I don't want to waste the time, but I want to see it. Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about. For the towers. Now, one hero can go through here and go, this is one of the paths. 5, 9, 10, 11, 15, sit and wait. Other player, 4, 6, 10, 14, 17, 20 tower, 27 tower, 25 tower, 21 tower. That's 4 towers, right? Now, the goal on that one was to do 5. So what you had to do was you had to get one hero, the one you wanted to get that thing, go the first route. So you got 1 tower. Then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Oh, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then the other player would get 2 or 1 consecutively or whatever. Then you'd have to do that adventure again with those same 3 heroes. Then a different one does the 5 run. That's a lot of work for, what was it? Was it 550, 600, maybe even if it was 1,000 of those things. People understand this. These steps are 1,000 pieces a piece, as far as I can tell. I'm halfway through almost to 51, and there's 11 days left. It's a 30-day event, so I'm already behind the 8 ball. I'm not halfway through. But I realized I don't care about this stuff. I can get so much of that stuff in the game. With the exception of those, I have 34. I did this earlier. Let's see, how many rolls does it take in the egg shop to get 25? So I did this in another video. I feel like it wasn't Oliver that I got. I got a bunch of Merlins. But here's 19. And if you're very, very, very new, we've learned, it seems, these need to be opened in bunches of 10 and repetitively, because considering the math in this algorithm that controls pet summoning or whatever else works like this with the 10, some of them do 5, but you have to do the max. It's shitty that they don't have a 1 here, because what if I don't want to spend them? I just want to spend 1, but that's designed to drain those to make you play to get more. I got 10 cane total. So in one egg roll, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? I just got 21 on a 10 roll. If I did that again, I'm sure I'd get a 20 or 12 or whatever, 18, depending on that. And gosh, here's another late minute tip for new players. And I'll probably have to watch these over, take notes, and then make a better video that's more concise, precisely. What was I talking about? Something about the eggs and the 10 packs. The math of it is, you do 1 roll, you'll get a certain thing, but their algorithm may be built on a 10 or 100 roll even, so that the distribution of odds is spread out over that wide spectrum, meaning that it's less likely that you'll win something cool. I still don't want any of those. I want those things. Oh, I was talking about those chest deals and the astral scam. I mean, the more and more I research this thing, the shady. Oh yeah, I was talking about this. Now, if the only thing you wanted, say, was this is level 35. That's 35 1000s, right? Mathematically speaking, if it's 1,000 all the way up. A large majority of those, and here's just the crack of the whip when it comes to, my lord, why are you telling us to do such stupid stuff, Mr. Chicken of the Sea? There's a streamer that did a test on this. He brought this up to a lot of the people. I'd seen it before, but hadn't heard anyone talking about it. But that's not the first time. It won't be the last. I see lots of stuff that I don't see nobody else talking about, but why bring it up? They wouldn't understand anyway. But you can see the tower. It's doable in a week. For most of my teams, I could do it in 2 days. Some of them only 1 day. Depends on how high your level is. The higher your level and ability to beat the tower, a level 65 team at a team level 65 team is going to have an ability to get 70 to 80, 7 to 800,000 coins out of the tower, depending on your luck of the draw. But if you're level 100 and something, you've beat the tower. You probably just go click the button and there you got it. That's done. That doesn't change this. And so what my point was, he spent $1,500 because he's got it. It's a tax write-off for him. He doesn't care. All of the people that show up at his streams are money in the bank and probably what keeps his girlfriend off his ass to get a real job. Oh wow, I just noticed the music had stopped. That's probably a good signal and I should fade out. I did that on purpose. Let's see if I can show you this. How do I do that? I think I drag it right there. Yeah. So here you'll see. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. Copyright free. Hashtag ADHD. Oh shit! I'm a dyslexia. That's funny. It's supposed to say ADHDJ. Instead, I typed AHDHJ. That's funny. My disabilities make me laugh at myself all the time, and I forgot to take that out of there, so I should. And I'll go back to turning it back on. My point being is if you're streaming out there or you like putting content on social media, granted, they always tell you you can't because copyright laws or restrictions. We created the solution, copyright-free electronic music for live streaming mix. What was that? Am I signed into the wrong? Oh, that's why I got to sign into the right account. Not sure why. We might do a Sunday live stream on the YouTube and or FaceCrack. Restream won't stream to Facebook unless you pay, or it'll stream straight to your main page, not your page, your home page versus your page. I don't even know if that makes sense. No, it's just another one of those. Yeah, we could help you, but you're gonna have to make it worth our while, which is such a shame in this world. We should be better than that. As a whole, as a race, we should be better. We can be better than that. We will be better than that. Let's focus on that maybe. Was this today? Nope, this was yesterday. I guess I blame it a lot on ADHD or it being ADD or whatever you call it, but I think the fact of the matter is sometimes I just don't care. I'm aware that the game is designed for certain ways, and if I want to beat the game, I have to accommodate that design. And what I mean by that is, I should turn this down some. What I mean by that is, they want you to play every day. Otherwise, there wouldn't be daily things. They want to program that into you by things like the astral season. And this is the first day. I've gotten halfway there, I guess. I have no idea what the solution to make that easier, other than just battling 5 times in the arena. And they're assuming that in 5 battles a day, you'll earn at least 10, right? 3 times 10 is 30. That's what accomplishes it. What does that get you? Half of the space to one gift. And they're kind of shit. I mean, 300? What's that? I can get that in 51 a week. That's a week of logins. And in that week of logins, I get the blue ones and the red ones too. That's all right. Those I don't give a shit about. It'll give me some those sparks. But when you don't care about the guild, you don't care about the guild wars per se, as far as standing goes, the Titans are just a way to get sparks of power for my heroes. And here's something that's important. I just learned this. the very last chapter is the only place where the Titans are involved in the campaign. And this is where your elemental spirit. Oh, it won't let me click. It should let me click there to see what's there, but it ain't doing it. I'm still of the opinion the designers put these soul stones here for obvious reasons. These are important heroes required for the game to beat it. Astrid and Lucas is everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when the hero soul stones in the very last chapters are these heroes, the fact other people don't play them confused me at first. That's the first time I saw that wolf. But then I realized they don't care about that stuff because these aren't battles they're mentally capable of taking on. All they want to know is my team strong and will it beat this other team? They don't know much about these teams. They don't study Sun Tzu's Art of War. If you study Sun Tzu's Art of War, you realize a general who understands his opponent and understands himself will never face fear in 1,000 battles. But if you know about your opponent and you don't know about yourself, meaning your heroes, the synergy, the reason that they're all there. Now, I have a reason that all of these people are here, and it's all based on beating the game. I want to beat the campaign, and then I want to beat it flying colors, lowest level, and dial in. So in a couple years, maybe, I don't know that these things will be around in a couple years, to be honest. A couple years, this shit might be like Nintendo was in the 90s, or, today, Atari 2600. Yeah, I had one joystick thumb. I keep going to that, and I'm still not going to get anything from there. I'm going to log out of there. I'm going to see where I'm at here. I heard C, so Facebook. Easy. Shut up. This is my dad's account. I got him involved a while ago, and he's since passed away, so it's kind of a way he and I can still play the game together. It's kind of fun. Yeah, blah, blah, slow fuck. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Man, I hate this face crack shit. Dummy, just fucking, excuse my language. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I said I was going to wrap it up in under an hour, so I'm looking at 54 minutes, 54 seconds. So let's start wrapping this up, shall we? Who the heck are we, anyway? We are Hero Wars HowTo. What are we all about? Free to play, player versus enemy. Please stand by. Be safe out there in Dominion. Be safe in life. Wear your masks. Don't be a mask hole. Mask holes. And where's my other logo? This has been Hero Wars HowTo. Free to play, player versus enemy. I doubt there are many old school gamers out there, but it seems we used to go hunting. Easter eggs weren't something that just fell in your lap. You had to hunt for them. So I am Hero Wars HowTo. on YouTube and Facebook. We will be streaming live every Friday, only once a week. Well, twice a week. Once on Facebook, once on YouTube. High noon. Where are we at? Give me that thing. There we go. Let's close that. Nope, that's not the one. Where the heck is it? Is it this one? Oh, Free to Play Friday. Live stream, Free to Play Friday. Hero Wars HowTo on the Facebook page. 12 o'clock, high noon, Mountain Standard Time. That's -7 UTC. And at 4:20 on the YouTube, Mountain Standard Time, -7 UTC. Be safe out there, kiddos. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, because I don't need the ego points, but the more you like and the more you subscribe, the easier it will be to help your community find these videos. So do one for the team. Hit that like button, subscribe, share, tell your friends. It's almost Christmas, which means a winter event will be coming up. So save all your resources. Do not spend the emeralds on the nasty astral scam. All right, I thought I was going to make it. We'll do it at 58. Clem Hawkins, Hero Wars HowTo, signing out.